Whoa, everybody. It's Awestruck Comics Podcast Reviews Day. A little late. It's been the Easter Bunny. Jesus came back. Jesus' fault. We're late.
And he brought with
Uh,
him tariffs for the people.
Tariffs
May
for all.
everyone have tariffs. Tariffs for you and tariffs for you. No fish and loaves.
Uh,
Tariffs.
McFarlane announced he's finally raising Spawn price, I think, right? Isn't that the first thing?
Hey, bud,
Hey, bud,
you
got to
got
go
you
to
got to pay a
4.99.
little bit more for Spawn. Little bit more for Spawny.
He's got so many spinoffs right now. It's kind of bonkers, you know? I feel like
Good
every week there's like a new spinoff, like from the world of Spawn. I was like, what happened?
dude. I love it. It's like, and you know, it's funny. I glanced through these books. I can't even read them. And he's hiring some good people. You know, it's not like
Yeah.
Todd McFarlane's writing all these. So thankfully,
Well, you
we're
looked
living
at
in a world.
Violator, right? Did you finish Violator, that
Oh,
series?
Violator. I enjoyed
That
Violator. That
Origin?
was
It's
actually
basically Origin, right? It's like a
yeah,
Violator Origin.
yeah. It's pretty good. The artwork's all I enjoyed it. Good writing, good art.
Yeah.
You know what issue I love the most?
Kyle
That's
Hotz.
right. And I was
That's
disappointed.
right.
He should have made that phone call to Bart Sears. It's like, come on, Bart, come back. Come on, bud.
Yeah.
Draw draw issue 3 like you didn't draw the first time we did Violator.
Yeah, that's a quality shift. Not that there's anything wrong with like the Greg Capullo, but that was Greg Capullo's skinny style,
Right?
real thin line, because I think that was Greg Capullo,
I was his Gundam style.
Mark Pennington.
Yes,
It's Gundam
correct.
style.
Mark Pennington
Boom.
was inking.
Right
Yeah,
there, right
you're
there.
correct. You are correct, sir.
And I think we figured out by the page count of the solicitation for Violator trade, it is lean.
It is
It's just,
slim.
it's slim
That's
pickings.
Capullo Slim style. And
Yeah,
you and I
nah.
know that there's a very good hardcover to be had.
Yep. We got to
And
make it.
you know what? And now that Liefeld has the Youngblood race back, get that Bad Rock Violator trade.
Yeah. Chap Yep,
I'm gonna
baby.
reread that. No, Brian Denham.
Oh, okay.
That was like his
Is it
first real comic
Grifter?
work.
Is it Grifter Bedrock?
Grifter Bad Rock is Chap Yap. Correct.
Right, but Grifter Bedrock. I have a Grifter Bedrock. No, I have a Bedrock 2A. Does that sound right?
Yes.
And that was
Here,
a flip book.
here's what it is, Mark. Here's what it is. Liefeld says, I'm gonna do a Bad Rock solo book. Awesome, Liefeld. That's great. He's got one issue and dragons in it.
Mm,
Simultaneously, Chap Yap does Bad Rock Grifter crossover. Awesome. Extreme, Wildstorm. Really cool. Neither book gives us a number two. But so Life was like, here's one and one. Let's just make one giant book, which
mm,
isn't really that giant. So one side is Bad Rock 2, Liefeld, Dragon, Girth from Newman.
mm.
2A is Bad Rock Grifter on the other side of the book. Okay, that's the way to do it. And then he solicited a Bad Rock special, which was going to have a new story, the story for Bad Rock 3 and Bad Rock Grifter 3, but that book never happened. But I feel like something's going to happen. Give it the old extreme intuition.
Let's
Something's going
hope
to happen.
so. What now? I feel like I have a Bedrock too, but I feel like the flip book has a variant or something. Like I feel like I have
Yes,
a different.
there is a
I have
variant for
two
the.
different variant covers for that.
It's a little wonky
Yeah, I got them
because
both
you got them
because
both.
and it's
No,
cool because I have them in two different collections. I got it in my live belt section. I got it in my Chappy Up section. So it helps me.
it
It's
does. It
helpful.
does. It does. They're
You
good.
know.
They're good covers. They're good books. They're fun.
Yeah.
Chap Yap. You know what's funny? Like there was so much focus on Bedrock, like Bedrock Wolverine, Bedrock Grifter, Bedrock and Company Annual, which had an Art Adams cover.
Oh
Like
yeah.
he
Yeah.
really quintupled down on Bedrock. He did a Bedrock short story in the back pages of like Hero magazine.
Hmm.
I don't know if I think Liefeld did layouts. I forget who did finishes for it. Yeah, back in Hero magazine, you got Sword and Stone, which became War Child. There's a Glory story and there's a Bedrock story, all on the back of probably Hero. It also could have been Fan.
Combo. You say combo
It
last
was
week?
not a combo, but I do have some nice combo covers. I got two combo covers that are Roger Cruz, and you're actually going to see them this week
Oh.
on Rob Messick Twitter.
Whoa. Look at you. Look at you
That's right.
rating the plugs. Rob
It
Messick
just went
Twitter.
right
Rob
went
Messick
right
on
back to that.
X. And
No,
then I was on Supreme uh this
maximum.
today.
How are you?
Yeah, I was on your today because I got to pull new screenshots. New screenshots because you're in the middle of Supreme at the end of something. Yeah.
I
Supreme.
finished up Extreme or Supreme Apocalypse and started Supreme 31, written
Yeah.
by Gary Carlson of Megaton, Big
Oh.
Comics fame. Todd Nauck drew this issue with Brian Denham, who drew Bedrock Violator.
This is the most that Brian Denham's been talked about in I don't know how many years.
We have not talked about him.
I don't know
He
when we talked about him last. Correct.
he where have I seen him lately? I think first time Trump got in office, Antarctic Press did a incredible Trump comic, and
Hmm.
I think he drew a Brian Denham drew a cover for that, and then he drew the what's the one with the Hulk underneath of his logo? Is that
So it's Duranko cover. It's
Steranko?
where
Steranko, yeah.
yeah.
But he
It's
does
a
it.
Hulk annual, I believe.
Yes, yeah. They do that. They do an homage to that with Trump. Hilarious. He got hired, I think, because he did a mini comic. I think he had a character called Mud, like My Name is Mud. I think that
My
was like his
name is Mud.
advertisement. I think it's in one of like the Maximum Heroes. You have Maximum Hero, don't you? The
We
free
have
giveaway comic.
Maximum Hero and Extreme Hero, baby.
And you got Extreme Zero, right? You got to have the
I have it.
trifecta.
Oh, hmm.
Extreme Zero cardstock cover, and
I
it's got no.
I
Oh,
don't think so. No. But I got to get three of them or something, right? Because who's an Extreme Zero? I got a Liefeld.
oh yeah.
I got a
Chap Yap,
Matsuda, maybe a Chap. Yep, man. Got to
Dan
get
Friggin,
five of them.
Black. I think Black Seeds and Maximum Hero,
Yes. I got that in my
or
Fragga
Black Flag.
collection. So for anyone who doesn't know, my collection is completely insane. I redid my collection by creator, and it's kind of a bad idea because then, like, just for example, like say I wanted to read the Violator miniseries, I have to go two different places for that. If I want to read Deathmate, I don't know how many places I got to go for that. You know what I mean?
See,
That's
to me,
I
Violator
have like
would
three
be
Deathmate Blacks, and it's in a bunch of different stuff. I know you said put it do some type of like
Alan Moore
melange.
section. That's me. To me, it's like I have an Alan Moore section,
Yeah,
but you're like, no, I just got to go by the artist, which I can agree
yeah,
with.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But to me, Alan Moore supersedes Bart Sears and Greg Capullo.
Mm.
And it's a nicer section because it's, Watchmen, V for Vendetta. But I won't put my Alan Moore Supremes away from the rest of my Supremes.
Yeah, I have my profits together in my profit section. Profit. Yeah.
By
So
the way,
it's
this is a review show. We haven't
it's a
reviewed.
review show we have yet to start.
We should
Well,
just be
it's
live streaming
again,
bullshit. That's what we're
I
doing.
know this would be for our Patreons. Uh, well, you don't watch Dark Web, do you? The Paul Scheer. I've been telling you to watch that. The Paul
No,
Scheer
no,
and Rob
no.
Hubel. They
Yeah, I'm
do,
sure it's
and
hilarious. I love them.
it's really good. But like they live stream I think on Monday
Yeah,
from YouTube, and they record all day. So I watched some of that, then I watched the edit. So it's kind of interesting to watch that like raw, right? And how we
yeah.
do stuff. But sometimes they'll just cut off. And I watched something and they said, "Oh, you'll watch that go to the Patreon." But I was like,
Mark,
"Oh, I watched that
I'm
live on Monday."
I'm
So
married.
it's
I only do things raw.
only doing it raw,
That's
doing it raw. So, but Idiosyncratic Pulp, I
you could
wanted
tip us.
to.
Pete DeLuca, tip us if you hear this.
Oh, is that we can do that?
I
Yeah,
don't
I
know.
guess
Can you?
I'm not
We'd
sure.
we'd probably have to have it hooked up to a bank account. Don't tip us anyone. We're not,
You could tip
you know,
us. I'm fine with that.
are you fine with that?
Yeah, I think
Just
that's fine.
just a tip.
Just a
Play the
tip.
tip. Play the tip game.
We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Um, so this week I'm trying to post every day. It's hard. I'm not as disciplined as you. I'm trying to get back into it. Did you see the bear picture where Bear had like a
Yes.
wildstorm on him? That's pretty funny. I
Yes.
was thinking about doing that, like doing like Bear every day, just destroying my sectional over here. Just make it's one gigantic dog bed right
He
now.
weighs it down. He is like,
Weighs it all down. It's a nightmare. So
listen, dude, taking pictures with Bear and comics, that's good. As long as you don't give us
it's
Red
funny.
Rocket, as long as there's no Red Rocket, we'll be fine.
No Red Rocket. No, it's pretty funny. But so I was thinking about doing that, and but I had started doing, and I realized that I'm like breaking my own rule. I wanted to when I was doing the Ohatmu A to Z, the official handbook of the
A
Marvel
hot mood.
Universe.
Are you okay? Do you need medicine for that?
Ohatmu, yeah, I have blood pressure meds for that. Um, but I wanted to just do A to Z in just whatever was in the original, and then if there was a different version for the deluxe edition. And then I was going to do Order of Battle, G.I. Joe, and Transformers Universe. So I was just going to keep that, right? That was my original rule, it's my rule. So I'm
Right.
on day 200 something, but I'm just bored because the entries are boring. I'm on like C. I just barely started C and I'm exhausted. So then I was like, well, let me put in like some of the handbooks of the updates that they did later, like the 70s, 80s, and 90s handbooks. So I started rotating that stuff in. But then I realized I was going through the 90s handbook. They don't have Carnage. So I was like, wait, there is a Carnage entry. What is that from? The Jackal Files. So I got the Spider-Man
Ah,
Jackal Files. And then this week when I was thinking, I was like, well, what others like that? So this week I put in the Age of Apocalypse, The Chosen,
Oh, nice.
which has great art in it. So now I'm doing like a Hot Moon 90s. Like so that's but then I also started the Who's Who. I'm going to change it all the time. I think I call it I don't remember what I call it. I call it like uh official companion source book of Who's Who not in the Marvel universe. So it's just basically not in Marvel and DC universe. So I'm going to change that title every time. I'm just going to put a tentative title. I'm going to change it every time. So I'm trying to do that every other day. And what that is, I put Shaft on it. Shaft. Boom. Shaft was the first one.
You got to put that shaft on it.
And that's on the Youngblood Battlezone 2. But I also have
That's a nice drawing. That's a live drawing.
that's a great
That,
drawing, and that's a Kiko. I'm going to list the artists and colorists as well. So
that's good.
we're very 90s nostalgic. We have the Youngblood behind us. We're doing a special show. We're working on it
Two shows.
very hard. Two shows. One is completely bonkers me, of course, and you didn't even know I was doing that. I photographed my Youngblood one. We have a digital copy of Youngblood that was recolored and rescripted, and then they have the new digital version. And there are differences, which are my favorite thing. So we are going to go through page by page, kind of almost panel by panel. Look, Gurgle, no arrows.
Out
That's not
Gurgle.
in there. Bummer.
Sorry, Hank.
Um, and then I go through like how this was in this page and it was restructured and what's that page from? So I'm going to get real. And so that's going to be mega
All right.
geeked out. And then we do have behind me is October's Youngblood #1, which you
From the
gifted
future.
me from the
Yes.
future. You gifted that to me. And then today I ordered as I was on the whatnot the other night, and I got a special signed copy, and I was very and it got here in 2 days. 2 days. That was Tuesday's live stream, dude. That was
Their
Tuesday's live
shipping,
stream.
their shipping's amazing. That's from
So
California.
fast. California. It was here. It was scanned, then it was here. I don't know. And yeah, and that's a beautiful cover. And when we get into that, I want to talk about the construction of that. I don't know who's using his printing, but I don't know. Everyone should use that printing because they lay a certain way. It's very easy to photograph. It's beautiful. And
They
trying to
photograph very
photograph
well. The
what a
pages are
wonderful time.
they're a little hard to make sure you are turning one page at a time,
Mhm.
but the cover is super beautiful. Cardstock, like just a really nice.
Yeah, I
He
love it.
just made a really nice package. The paper is really good.
Uh,
The paper like just it's so weird. It feels sturdy. It's
yeah.
quality. It holds all the colors, and it's not flimsy. It's just very movable. Like if it like
There's no gutter loss at all. That's my biggest thing is that most of the time there's some type of slight gutter loss where it's
yeah.
impossible to see if it's a double spread splash page. Like there's something you're going to miss something,
Hmm.
especially in like an omnibus or something like that. So that's why the gutter loss has to be a certain thing. The eye has to be a certain way. In a single comic, it doesn't always can go as flat as it should.
Right.
Boom.
So check
So
out those shows
yeah, very exciting.
after you listen to this one.
Yeah, hook
After you
this
watch
one
this
up.
one.
We love it. We're gonna jump into the reviews. It's a fun week. So it was a good week. So let me share. Mm, 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 mm.
I Are you starting off with the New Gods, number five, Mark?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I 100% agree with you.
I don't know if this is my book. It's tough, dude. There was a
Nope,
lot of good books this week. The thing that got us, oh, I imagine I'm speaking for you. I apologize.
that's fine.
Is that this book is succeeding, I feel, for a lot of different. The lore that Ranvi usually weaves in and out, I think both of us hasn't always resonated with us. Sometimes there's too much lore, there's too much continuity, or there's too much story plot, and we're just like, where's the action? What's going on? Where here, you're getting a ton of exposition. You're also giving away 4 to 5 pages each issue to keep everything on time. This book has been way on time, very, very on time, and you get nervous, and because I don't want Evan Cagle to not draw this, the
Yes.
main artist. So to have a pinch hit of someone, and this reminded me a little bit like when Wes Craig did the flip book of the All In. Because again, there was a lot of new gods in that, but this is Andrew McLean. So this is a guy we've liked for a long, long time. This is Headlop who created it's Headlopper. I pulled a Headlopper. So you have this, and I saw some review that was kind of complaining about this, and I was like, well, I don't know if you get it. Like I don't know if but look at the Death of Black Racer. I should take a picture of that and send that to Ian. Yes, I need to do a screenshot of this little here. Death the Black Racer. Send it over to our boy, boy Ian, our boy. Um, yeah, all this was super fun. Again, this I think is a really good formula because the new guy. Oh, there we go. So I did plop a couple extra. This is who we're talking about. So this is um, super nice guy, by the way, Andrew McLean. Super nice guy. I met him at a punk rock flea market in. I'm trying to remember the. It was at a brewery in Pennsylvania, north of Philly, and no one was there to see him. And what was really cool about it is that I was doing art for something. I might have been one of the Kirby what was it, Jacktobers, right?
Oh, Jack Tobers.
And I was telling him about some of the coloring that he was doing there, and then I showed him my own Instagram. I was like, "Oh, I've seen this," and I'm like, and he was serious, like he wasn't just placating me, like he did. I didn't even really tell him. He's like, "Oh, I tried to do this, and it's kind of like this." I don't even think I was telling him that this was my Instagram. He's like, "Oh, I've seen this before. I've seen this," and there was a Silver Surfer one, right? And I'm like, "This guy seen my stuff?" Like it was kind of blew my mind, I was like, "What do you mean? How do you know about my Silver Surfer one?" So it was like, because what I was doing was I was taking panels, Kirby panels, and doing a little word balloon over top of it and trying to draw it as close as I could, but not do an exact trace. Unlike the next year where I just did exact trace to inks. Anyway, so super nice guy. He's got a Kickstarter right now of the head. So in on, do you know where he cuts the witch's head, carries it around most of the time?
Uh, mhm.
There's a Kickstarter of that right now, and I'm like, ooh, so and we'll kind of
He's
talk
gonna
about,
he's gonna follow that up with the
you
Lopper,
know. So
Cindy
sorry,
Lopper.
bears. Hold on. God damn it, it's happening.
Mark is peacing out. He's talking to the dog.
Yeah, I'll have to cut that. All right, here we go. So anyway, Headlopper, 4 volumes. I don't know what he's working on. Not sure what I know he's doing. Um, that. Yeah. Anyway, he's doing that. I'll have to cut all this. Anyway.
So
All right, here we go. So, but so to have that, I like that there's all this old New Gods continuity, and then you have this new Gods continuity. So I think it all really works. And also these new artists who we've been talking about, Evan Cagle, Dan Mora, Hayden Sherman, like the crazy, and John Timms. John Timms, because when I saw this, like this
right.
reminded me of like the way John Timms is drawing like underwater, like the crazy whacked out detail, like how insane is that? So I love these new guys. The colorists just seem to. This is kind of the most meshing I've seen between colorists and artists. Like they have their
Yeah.
specific ones. And they just seem to like they're adding another element to it. So for example, like just think about Jim Lee, Scott Williams, Alex Sinclair. You know what you're going to get. You know what I mean? It's going to be exactly the same, but if a different colorist did it, it's probably going to seem Wendy Fouts. Like it's going to seem in that same realm where these guys are drawing it very specifically, and this colorist is bringing something else to it. Even Liefeld's colorist, even the guy right behind me.
Juan
Who's that one?
Rodriguez.
Yeah, that guy's he's doing painterly things that are flourishing that was started in Last Blood.
They're
That he's
they're
doing
working
different
together
things.
in a way to create one thing. Like the artist and colorist on this book, the lines are blurred. You don't know who's doing what, and it's amazing. This stuff looks great. This story is great, by the way. This scene was horrific.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
like
it's
he
gnarly.
he takes them out, and then they put themselves back together. You're just like, oh crap! Like the danger that he's seeing. Like he's not used to being scared other than Darkseid, you know?
Right, right,
And he doesn't even so much, I don't think he really fears Darkseid, because they're so equal.
right.
But he's like, what? Like these guys are putting themselves back together. I just decimated them. Ah, that was really good. This is good.
Yeah, I don't know. I know it's 12, and I don't know what's going to happen afterward. Like I like these series. Reminds me of like Inhumans. Like I like these little finite 12 issue series.
Inhumans is
And
a good comparison.
yeah, and then just leave it be. And then if you do another series, do like the Inhumans that Pacheco did. It was Ladron and Pacheco and
And
Marin scripted. So which was also really good. You know what I
beautiful.
mean? So
They're they're all beautiful.
so just do that. Like do that. And you know what's funny? I think I told you I'm gonna get them all for $1. I got them for $1 this year. I got that Inhuman series for $1. And actually I'm
The
almost
the
have
Pacheco Ladron or the Jenkins J. Lee?
the Pacheco Ladron.
Okay.
Which you would figure number one would probably be somewhere $5. You know what I mean? Something just because it has the Black Bolt in the cover. But nope, got them all for $1 in different spots. I can get everything for $1. You know,
Did you
I
watch the Inhumans TV series?
no, I was looking at something yesterday and I saw an ad for it, and I was like, oof, man,
It's
do I?
so it's so well casted. Everyone's
Yeah,
really well casted in that. And it's just too goofy. It's
yeah,
just
I don't
cheap.
know. It's a bummer. You know,
Oh my God. You know what they do? The first episode pisses you off
they
because
cut her
you're
hair,
like,
right? They cut
they
her
cut
hair
her
off.
hair.
Yeah.
And then
No.
you think Triton's killed. So he's like he's the expensive looking guy. And they
Mm.
only film uh uh come on, the guy with the horse feet.
Oh my God, I can't think of who it is right now. Yes.
Anyway, they film him from the waist up all the time. You know, it's like whatever they can do to be cheap.
And they have lockjaw how many times? Like 2 times, like 3 times,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
not
The
many.
girl, like the girl who plays Medusa is great. The girl who plays Crystal's super cute. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you got Anton Mount playing Black Bolt, and he's awesome. But like, they make him like, see, when I read Black Bolt, he's stoic. The
Mm.
stoicness of him, and he doesn't even have to look at Medusa, and she knows what he's thinking. But on that Inhumans TV show, he keeps making stupid faces like "moo," ooh, and he's like signing, which is fine, except that's not what Black Bolt ever did in the comics. If you're trying to
Right.
relate to people who actually can't hear or can't talk, I get if you're trying to do that, but like that's not Black Bolt. Black Bolt doesn't make stupid faces.
No.
He's so serious. But like in the end, I kind of liked it, but it wasn't good. But
Yeah,
then
I'd be curious to
when
kind of plow through it and
but
just,
when Black
or
Bolt
just
showed,
have it on.
but that was a big FU. That was the 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 Marvel TV guy. That was like the Jeff, not so much Jeff Loeb, but definitely like Perlmutter and Dan Buckley. That was their FU at Kevin Feige. Like, hey, or Feige, look what we can do. And Feige's like, not anymore. Like he took
Right.
that rug and took it right out from underneath of him because they were
Yeah.
going to do an Inhumans movie. Remember?
Yeah, yeah.
Like there was
Yep.
supposed to be a big budget Inhumans movie, and they just somehow beat them to it with a TV show that nobody asked for and nobody wanted.
That was a contract. That was some type of like weird open contract. I thought Marvel TV did that. Well, I thought Marvel proper did that.
No,
That they're like, I was turning a
no.
TV show.
Yeah, I think they just kind of beat them to the. I think what they did was they introduced the idea of Inhumans and Agents of Shield, and
Mm.
so by doing that, maybe that gave them the leg up to do the TV series.
Hmm.
But they were moving forward on a movie.
Jeez.
I know, so crazy. So anyway, back
So now you
to
can't do it. And then same thing with Eternals. Eternals should have been a TV show. There's too many ideas in Eternals. And if it was an 8-hour TV show, would be better. It because you couldn't feel anything when there's a betrayal at the end because you barely knew that character. So it didn't
that's
really
true.
even. It's like you didn't get it. The reason why Catwoman, jeez, the reason why Penguin works is you build Sophia's character through. That's the only way that works. It's the only way that works. And
Yes,
it almost didn't work. Like at one point, I'm just like, I don't think it's going to work, and then it completely worked
and
more than you thought
you
it was going to work.
might not ever see any of those characters ever again.
Correct, because they're just the DC's just they're all on this. They're all on eggshells. Everything's on eggshells until Superman comes out, and then who knows? I don't know. I don't
Mhm.
know what anyone's going to want anymore.
I don't know if you listen to the rest of Liefeld's podcast, but he really doubles down on the two presidents of Warner Brothers. Something is it Mike DeLuca and Pam something or
Pete
other?
DeLuca. It's
Not
Pete
Pete,
DeLuca.
not
Oh,
not your
okay.
boy Pete.
AKA Pat.
That's right. He gets tens of more viewers than us.
He's running. He's running. He's running Warner Brothers. That'd be fun, actually.
Yeah, can you imagine? Oh, that'd be great.
Yep.
So, but what's funny about Mike DeLuca is when he ran New Line and did he's a smart guy. Liefeld really builds him up. He actually bought Evangeline back in '99. Then he's out at New Line, finds himself in charge of Warner Brothers today, and gets Evangeline from Liefeld.
Oh wow, that's funny.
But like they were ready to get fired. Couple weeks ago, they were on the outs. Warner Brothers got to fire them, and then Minecraft hits hard, and they're like, "Yeah, Minecraft's a hit," and then Sinner's a hit. You know, so
That's what I'm
now
saying. I
they're
don't know what anyone wants anymore. I saw Sinners. Me and Sophia went to go see Sinners.
yeah,
Holy mackerel. Theater was packed. It
everyone
was
loves
what?
it.
Tuesday night. Was it
Too,
Tuesday night?
I feel there's not going to be a huge week two drop off.
No.
It's spring break. Everyone's seeing this movie.
Yeah, no. I want to see it again. I told you I think I need to go. I might because I'm crazy. You know me.
Yeah.
I may be driving like an hour and a half to go see it on something for
Where where
myself.
where are you going to see it at?
I might go up to eat. I might go up to Warrington.
Is there what is that? A better IMAX
40X.
screen? Oh, 40. Oh, you're going to see a 40X.
40X.
You'll have to let
So
me know.
listen, okay, we're like page
Bring
4 in the reviews.
bring a barf bag.
Oh yeah. Well, no, that's not. I don't know. I don't know. So what 40X is, it's literally like a ride. You like strap yourself in, and
Yeah.
they have water and stuff, and just knowing what's going to happen, it's actually going to be
Probably
better.
blood.
That's what I was. I yeah. I think if they had blood, that would be really fun. I don't think you got to sign a waiver.
It'll be like the dance scene from Blade.
Sign a waiver. Um.
Also, new line brought in by Mike DeLuca.
Oh, there you go.
Remember that dance scene from the first Blade movie? He goes in, it's
Yeah,
like a
it's great,
rave,
dude.
and then it starts spraying the
That's
blood
Tracy
down.
Lords. Tracy Lords in the beginning of that too.
Funny.
So Steven Dorff, he'll be on Righteous. He's on Righteous Gemstones, by the way, on season 2 or 3. He's coming.
Oh, is he?
Spoilers.
Oh, he was
Spoilers.
good. He was good in season 3 of True Detective.
Yeah, that's a very
He like
underrated season, actually.
it's a really good season.
Yeah, that's a good season.
Oh, isn't that a funny connection? Steven Dorff's in that with Mahershala Ali, who is now the new
Blade,
Blade. Maybe.
not really.
Maybe Blade.
Maybe. We'll see.
What a connection.
All right, here we go. So here we go. So anyway, look at this. Look at this. And also, when I looked at this, I felt, or let me go back 2 pages here. Look at that. That feels so much like Christian Ward. So Christian Ward's fully formed. We
Yes.
love Christian Ward.
Hmm.
Mega Awestruck approved Christian Ward. Um, that Two-Face series I need to finish up, but the artists he got there and the colorists they're working in unison just like this. This feels like just Christian Ward up and down. Did you
Right.
read that Aquaman series he did?
Yes.
That's
With
great.
Rand Babe, right?
I think so. I thought Christian Ward, yeah, maybe. I think Ramsey might have scripted it. I feel like Christian Ward either create. I think you're right. I think maybe Ramsey scripted it, but
Mark,
sounds good.
You're like the Rand B Mark.
I am. I'm very very happy. Oh, and I don't think I mentioned this. Let me go back here. Did you see this? The Inheritor. He doesn't
Yeah.
do this every issue, but like I wish he did because I liked when he had Barda show up and Orion show up. That's our biggest. That's one of our best shows. I have in the thumbnail of the Orion there. I don't know why it just pops. It's a lot of views on that one. Um. So, but yeah, this is we're on issue 5. It just feels so dense. It feels so dense, and even with this, like look at this. What does that look like? Man, I'm trying to think of that. That just reminded me of something. The way that
Looks like a good Miracle Man pose.
mm,
It's not,
yeah.
but it's saying that's the floating effect of
It might be
something I
like
really enjoy.
An Art Adams, like a long shot, like flying type of situation. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah,
it
there's
feels
something
it feels weight. It
like a
feels
Larry
good.
Stroman,
Yeah, yeah.
something.
There's a
There's a
lot.
little,
There's a ton of elements in it, but again, like good on Evan Cagle to not go like this is not a traditional like just the angles are very different, very very different, like panel to panel. And oh, and this was I think I told you
this.
about this when I called you. I was
Yes,
upset at this.
me too.
Why? Why is JLA on the cover?
Yeah, you ruined this ending by putting JLA on the cover. You could have saved JLA for the next cover
Yeah.
because this seems
JLA's not in.
great.
They're not in this.
No,
One Superman's in this. That's it. Just for
Superman
one.
did it, and it's a great scene.
That's it.
And look, he it takes not Superman's like, is that he's not saying all that's all you got because
That
Superman's
all
not a
you got.
jerk. But like one hand just, Ryan was like, that's a punch to kill. And
Uh,
Superman's like, eh,
they ain't looking at all.
no,
Yeah,
I
that's
love
good,
it. I
man.
love it, dude.
That's a good
It,
Superman.
but this hit would have hit harder if you didn't have JLA on the cover. I
Yeah.
actually kind of forgotten about the JLA because I'm so into this story.
Yeah, I liked it. It's and it's
I
a
forgot it.
Francesco Segala colorist. Okay.
But as soon as they said, oh, we need like a miracle or something, I forget what he said. It's like, oh, that's right, because I'm expecting.
Yeah.
It reminded me. It reminded me a split second before it happened.
All right, here we go. Boom. Thundercats with just I think it's a roll of the dice on who does the cover. Who gets cover A, by the way, right?
Right,
So
right.
it's cover A, cover B, cover C. Because I think who was this again? I'm trying to think who this is. I think they had the A last month. So, but overall, I mean, I think this book's super fun. It feels very, very much like it feels very, very much like the cartoon show. That's it. Like especially with this when they have just like full body. Here's a fight scene. I just saw an episode. I just watched episode 3 or 4 the other night, and it was like a Panthro episode, almost the whole episode. So this was kind of fun to read near that.
Right.
Um, but yeah, really fun
This
action, and
this is
there's a
great.
really good look at this. Like, see, that's what I mean is like the action. It feels good. Like it feels like something. I feel like there one or two issues were just like a lot of like story and then no action. I need, I need that. I need something. I need a little bit. Need a little bit of action. This cracked me up because when I was a kid, I fucking hate these guys. They're the
Yep.
burbles. I
Yeah.
hated them. So annoying. And I'm pretty sure I had them. I'm pretty sure because you could buy them and they came in like a 2 pack. Does that sound right?
I don't know. I wasn't buying Thundercats by that point.
Hmm. Yeah, I had a Lino Panthro. Um, my friend gave me his like I think Mumra was there's one you just get as a straight mummy. It was just like a guy like this. He
Yeah.
didn't move though. I,
Robear. Robear Burble.
yeah, these burbles are making me nuts. They're so super super annoying. But again, really really enjoyed that. There's our Mark Spears. I don't get it, but he still gets that money, dude. He gets that money for him. Final order cutoff, and I imagine because there's so many of them, I imagine they have to sell. I know I always talk about it. Something that has to sell. So here we go. This is the second one, second one, right?
Second one, and it's my preferred one so far.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, I think they're pretty close. I think they're pretty close. Here's a Scott Koblish cover.
Love it.
They didn't do what on the digital in the first one. Remember, they had all the digital covers in. This they just kind of have in the back, so I kind of cropped them first. But yeah, I like this. I like this Koblish one quite a bit because this
It's
is the
great.
only one that I've seen. That's the actual
Marvel.
Marvel Godzilla. That's the Herb
Right.
Trimp Godzilla design. That's really fun. I feel like this is a little photoshoppy. That's the Nick Bradshaw. Great. It is the 60th or 70th anniversary of Godzilla versus Megalon this week because I saw the clip where he's shaking hands with Jet Jaguar. I love Jet Jaguar. He's my favorite. That movie's probably my favorite just because of the fight that they have, and then they get it. They have um, the circle of flames around him and everything like that, and a lot of Ghidorah shows up. It's just crazy. So there's your McGinnis.
Nice.
A little disappointing on. So it's
Godzilla.
we love the McGinnis Hulk, sure, but yeah, the Godzilla's a little. It does look like a man in suit though. That looks like a man in suit, you know. So here's Dr. Dominicus, okay? Because so when I saw
Okay.
this, I laughed. Now, Dr. Dominicus is a character that it was. I don't know if it was Doug. I think it's a Doug Mensch character because Doug Mensch also wrote Shogun Warriors, which sometimes was Herb Trimp. I forget who drew this one, if this was Lee Elias or not. But when I saw Dr. Dominicus in it, I'm like, holy shit. Because that's what I'm saying. So Doug Mensch had a continuity. He made his own character continuity. So he was created in Godzilla 16 and but showed up in Shogun Warriors later. So it's kind of crazy. So I was like, man, you pulling it deep. Oh, I guess I didn't grab a lot from that, but
That's fine.
yeah, but that's okay. Because again, we got to
But yeah,
blow through it.
good.
We got so many reviews.
It was good.
Yeah, really fun. But I really dug that. Hulk
Menchie. I
essentially
really dug that Menchie.
Doug Mensch. But I really dug. But no, I think that because Hulk, what he gives gamma radiation and makes a Hulk Godzilla essentially, uh, and then Hulk and then saves the day. So, but I do like that it is mentioned in the first couple pages that it is in the 80s. So these are all continuity to the old so far, the first two. Maybe not the series that there's going to be done because there's going to be 5 or 6 of these, and there's going to be a 6 issue mini series that Jerry Duggan is writing. So, but you said you like this one a bit more.
Yeah.
So here's the big book. This was a pretty big book of the week, the Summer of Superman special. It's actually got on the news. It's actually got around quite a bit. A lot of good articles. This cover was shown, quite a lot. So we have the three writers here. So we have basically they're the three writers now, right? So because
Yeah.
Mark Waid essentially is going to be doing Action Comics for Superboy. So we have a
Yep.
little bit of a preview there. Dan Slott doing the Superman Unlimited, which we don't know why it's called that.
Yep.
I
We
hate it.
don't love it.
And then Josh Williamson doing a wonderful job. And I already read Superman this week, and it's great.
Okay.
No spoilers. Um,
That is a really cute Lana Lang. Like,
yeah, I think that Jorge Jimenez just was really good with the facial direction and just the characterization. Super Sons, I always thought like was always something I always wanted to read. Maybe I could read that on DC app. It just was not really in my wheelhouse. I didn't care about it. Why would I read that? Why would I read Damien and you
because
know?
you love Pete Tomasi's Damian and Batman,
I do love that, but
especially when
I like deep, insane Damien. I like crazy Damien.
he's not.
Actually, Andy Kubert has a good miniseries that he wrote with
Yeah,
future Damien, like in
right.
Elseworlds.
It was kind of based off the Grant Morrison Batman 666.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
It follows that.
yeah. Is that right? I don't even know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I was really paying attention to some of the Grant Morrison stuff was like losing me. So I think I don't even know if I finished the end of
He
that Grant Morrison
he
run.
had me with the first issue all in. I'm like, this
Mm,
is incredible. Ninja Man batch, everything like Damien, like everything was great. And then it was like diminishing returns. It like never got good again. It never got as good as that first issue.
yeah, yeah,
Good stuff. There's some really good stuff in there. But then other stuff just doesn't stick. This sticks.
yeah.
So
This is really good. So this is basically, we're understanding a bit more. Wade was on the Word Balloon podcast, so you still have to catch up with that, I
no, I
think.
did. I did.
You did.
Yeah.
I like that what he's talking about in how we're going to gain a Superboy that we have never read before. We've read a lot of Superboy in the Legion of Superheroes, but Wade has read, to me, in my opinion, like the boring Superboy shit. You may like it. You may like,
I've read a lot of it.
yeah. It bores me, so I don't know. You know.
You can't read
Um,
it all in one sitting. You got to pepper it in.
yeah. But I'm liking that he's taking concepts and he has like a newer, younger editor. He's like, I'm doing this concept, and they're like, oh, that's a great idea, and he's like, all right, it's actually someone else. But that's
Yeah,
okay.
that's like it was kind of done
So
50 years ago, but it's cool.
that's okay. Listen, if you're doing it right, I feel like when I was reading some his book today, I was reading Justice League today. It's so easy. Wade's very easy to read, and this book is a little, in my opinion, a little problematic because this first story is so good, and it was a Validus, right?
Yeah.
And so right here, it's going to turn. So you get to see Superboy kind of seeing a bit of the future. He sees the future, and it will be. Sees the future,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it works. But once it hits chapter two, and they kind of do some of the same stuff with Slot, I was just like, I don't know. I'm not feeling any of this. So I didn't really like the second story. It's fine, you know,
That's fine.
but I
It
need it
moves
to
the
be,
story along.
yeah. And then chapter three I thought was a little bit better, but still nothing really killed like that first story. That first story rolled, you know.
It kind of bugs me that like Clark's in love with Lana, but then he sees a future version of himself marrying Lois with kids,
Mhm.
and then he comes back and like he decides to not love Lana anymore. He's like, oh, she's just gonna be my best friend. I'm like, nah, dude, I kind of like having like your high
Yeah,
school
yeah,
sweetheart.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
do you save
Annette
yourself for
O'Toole.
Lois?
That doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
No, because then it's like, well, yeah,
He was
you're right. It
mind wipe
doesn't.
him. He's not
No,
gonna remember.
I like the idea of Lana knowing, and like
Mhm.
I don't know. There's so many versions of whether she knows or doesn't know. I like the fact that they had a relationship. It wasn't just like a friendship. But like you
Yeah.
could have it be like you become best friends afterwards. That's a real thing.
Yeah, I like her knowing. I think they should be. We'll see. We'll see what he does with it.
Yeah.
I would like some type of. I feel like everything's somewhat neutered with relationships in any of these books anymore. You know what I mean? Like I feel like, they won't commit. They just give. We saw last week when I was bitching about Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Like this is like his seventh or eighth girlfriend. Who cares? Actually, it was funny. I was listening to my brother was on his live stream on Whatnot, and he was like, "I don't care what they say. Mary Jane's his wife. I don't care. You can tell me every single day that she's not, but
Was your
she
brother
is."
actively reading it when they got married? Because he's a year or
Uh,
two older than you, right?
no, we were probably a
2 years?
little after that. He's almost 4 years older than me.
Oh, so he's three
Yeah,
years. So that means he's
yeah,
three
three and a
years
half
older
years.
than
Yeah.
me.
hmm
So he might have been reading it.
I don't think we got it. I don't. I know he's. I say we because I kind of just would either. I would feel like it's my collection. I would go look at it or read it or, sneak it and read it, put it
Right.
back. Uh,
Risk risk getting your ass kicked by your older brother touching his stuff.
Very possible. But I did multiple times. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think he ever had the wedding wedding. I remember us seeing it at Mount Laurel conventions and stuff. But no, we it was actively read. You get 298, 100, 300.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Mary Jane was our person. Um, yeah, so overall, I mean, I think it's good. It's a pretty good setup, but I felt like it was three of the same story. I don't know. If they're all going to collaborate, they should have done something else with Validus. Like, Validus doesn't remember. Okay. You're in third story. Validus doesn't remember, but we'll see.
Well, they're trying to do like like I'm not going to call it a Supreme thing, but it's definitely a thing of like the same things happening in three different eras. Supreme separated it by issues to make it even like more genius.
Right.
This you're
Alan
getting it all in
Moore
one.
genius.
That's right.
More
More
genius.
genius. You get
More
it all here.
genius.
It's good. It's good. It's a I don't know if I do this for like my launch of Superman Summer. It's not launch of Superman
Right.
Summer good, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's funny because I think that the Superman that just came out today, yesterday, like it does things a little bit better. So this, on the other hand, I'm really happy about this storyline. So this is me jumping back to Batman Superman World's Finest 38. We are
Right?
yesterday part one, which is going to be 6 issues, I think. I think it goes. I think it goes World's Finest for two, JLU for two, and then I think an annual on each of them, something like that. So I think it's a total of six.
Right.
It's Wade, and then somehow Cantwell is co-plotting some stuff in this too. I'm not really sure.
I think he had some ideas. I think because Wade likes what he's doing with Challengers of the Unknown,
Mhm.
so I guess
Right.
he's trying to fit it in with some of that. So I don't
I
know how
haven't
long
read
that
that
book's.
at all. Is
I read the
that is
first
that
issue.
getting a
Canceled,
peripheral?
probably.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that getting a peripheral? No, I feel like DC. Listen, I feel like Marvel gets like 6 to 8 or 10, and then that's it. I feel like DC might hold a little bit longer. Um, I don't know. Did you? Challengers the Unknown, as we know, is not getting like a peripheral. That's a bummer. They should. You know what's funny is like I feel like that's the way books would kind of get read. Then they do like an Avengers crossover like Quicksilver, and you're like, I don't want to read Quicksilver. It was like Maximum Security or some shit, and you're
Right,
like,
right. But
I
then
don't
you
want to
would
read
read it.
this.
But
It's like,
then
yeah,
you
it's
would
pretty
get
good.
it, and you're like, I kind of like it. And what's Quicksilver up to? Or let me. Oh, look, here's two back issues in the dollar bin. Let me put together a set, and then you're collecting it.
Yeah. See, we don't know the logic of something. Even before we started recording, we were talking about some image stuff, and what was Monstrous up to? 58?
57, monstrous.
57.
Yeah, that's
That's a
amazing.
creator-owned book where the art doesn't look. I don't know. That's Tana Kaneda. Who writes that book?
I don't remember.
Yeah. See that? We're doing great.
No, it's because
Um,
I'll glance through it. I'll enjoy the artwork, but I'm like, it's not for me. Maybe,
yeah. It's not for me. It's
but like, I mean, I did try to read it in the beginning, and a
yeah.
lot of the issues they're not like 20-page stories. They're pretty sometimes like 30, 40 pages.
Yeah.
So great for them. 57 issues.
Oh, good for you.
Yes.
Good for you. So, World's
So
Finest We Are Yesterday, part one. But I was super happy about this because this is the new Clayton Henry. We love Clayton
yeah,
Henry and I guess he's got Wade has some good new partners, right? Because it
yeah.
was Wade Insomni, Wade Garney, Wade Kubert. Here we have, Wade Clayton Henry. Clayton Henry did the Action Comics when he was doing Action Comics Weekly, and then the backup, which even though it wasn't part of his story, Skylar Partridge is going to be doing action with I think Ryan Sook covers. Skylar Partridge could do the covers too, though. I feel. I
Yeah.
feel like you don't have to give Ryan Sook a job. I mean, you do, I guess, but he doesn't put like full books out. So anyway, but yeah, I really enjoyed Clayton Henry on this. He's just so good. Look at how good the acting is, face acting is here. What was the book he did? Area something, Area 52 or something. Does that sound right? That
Maybe.
was that was his image book when he first came out. I think he came out like doing an image book, and then he
It's a
went
good.
places.
You don't show any images, but it starts off with Hal Jordan, and you think it's going to be like a Hal Jordan involved
Oh
in the
yeah,
story too.
yeah,
And it's just funny because he's test piloting a jet for Wayne Corps, and Bruce Wayne and Clark and Bruce Wayne are talking, and Bruce is like, well, it's good to have Hal because in case something goes wrong, you just save the jet. And Clark's like, he doesn't wear his flight ring when
right,
he
yeah.
flies, right? Because that would take away from his talent or whatever. And Bruce is like, what?
Oh yeah, he said like it basically it doesn't thrill him.
Yeah, yeah, right.
Yeah. So, but I loved all this. I think that, I think this is again just really clean. Wait, who's inking this? Is he
Him,
inking it?
Clayton
Oh my
Henry.
Lord. Yeah, just really clean, man. Look how good that is. Oof, all of it up and down. Look at how good this is. All of this. But this is scary. This is a scary concept, to have Grodd in Superman. Very, very scary.
Yeah.
Good force perspective. And is that what do you remember what the annual was? Wasn't it was the Superman annual with
Titano?
Titano?
I
Yeah.
think so. I think so. I can picture
And
it.
that's those are Ron Friends, Brett Breeding, I believe. Ron Friends, Dan Jurgens wrote it.
Well, I mean,
Ron,
he's a Silver Age character first.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I just remember that because the perspective of it. I think I have it. I think it's right there. I think it's right back here. It's in my Ron Friends section.
It's good.
Yeah, baby.
Your Super Friends section.
Uh, but also the kind of cool that yeah, we need to jump ahead in time, because this is Silver AG, right? Wade's World's Finest verse, right? So you're gonna jump in time. I already read that. Spoilers. No
All right.
spoilers. Dick Tracy 9.
Dick
Uh,
Tracy.
this I felt, and I have this here for a reason, the Francisco Franco Villa cover B's on this entire series so far. Um, this is so pulp tropey that I love it, and it kind of annoyed me in this because I feel like this story is an issue too long. I know it's wrapping up next issue, but this
Right,
issue
right, right.
is didn't do anything. You have a cliffhanger last where he's like, Pat is the blank. Okay. And then he's, hey, Breathless, Pat's the blank. No, he was with me. Okay. Shock, but not really. But I do think this page is so good, just based on the acting and the walk away and just the lettering's good. I just think that, it took me a while for me to adopt this guy, Borges. I didn't really like that Dick Tracy style just yet. So it took me a little bit of time to do it. But um, yeah, pretty horrible, pretty horrific stuff in this as well. And then you think everything's going to be okay, and I didn't put the kind of the cap on that, but just gonna leave it. Um, but we kind of feel I don't know who it's going to be, but yeah, I'm excited to see the next issue.
And this is the most I've
The
probably read
blank.
Dick Tracy since the year the movie came out.
I have the case book. I have the collected cases of Dick Tracy. I
Oh,
have
that
it. I
was,
got it at I think I got it like at a Atlantic Books cheap, and it was just a bunch of strips. But the cool thing about the strips themselves is that they would just he would just do. I don't know if they added this later. Is he would do prune face for like 5 weeks, and then you just have a prune face story, and then you have Mumble's story. So like it was pretty much just like here's a character, here's a character, here's a character. And it came out post Batman, so it was kind of like, but you're right, I got it the year of the Dick Tracy, you know,
yes. And we all
Warren
got the
Beatty.
Kyle Baker movie adaptation.
I have that right there. I got it. Yeah.
Who published that?
Eclipse.
Was it Eclipse or Gladstone?
Gladstone had a Gladstone had a I think you're right. I think Gladstone did have adaptation. Just like
I think they made a square bound and a regular version of that,
mhm.
just like they did with Batman. I think they double dipped like, DC double dipped.
But didn't Kyle Baker do a 3 issue series after that? I have that.
Hmm. Who drew the Rocketeer movie adaptation?
Russ Heath,
I
not
was Rusty, wasn't it?
not Dan Stevens. Yeah, it was
No.
boring.
Who?
It was fine.
Dave Stevens.
Yeah, but it was
No, it was fine. It
it
was
was
fine.
fine. But the problem is we had 89 Batman Ordway, which I have a hardcover of. You know.
Yes.
So here's the thing. My collection is a little crazy, but like all the mainline stuff, I have like the collections. So All-Star Superman, absolute. Like I have the perfect
What?
collections. I have 3 Dark Knight versions.
Right.
Um, oh, did you read this? Gatchaman Only One Earth. It kind of
Yes.
moved along, but just super solid. I think that this went into a bit more of like mythology. This actually reminded me of Andrew McLean here. This almost feels like a bit of a head lopper because a lot of head loppers like lore, right? So I felt like all this stuff was pretty fun. But There's one issue left of this, and I feel like this was a bit of setup for whatever. I think the next issue is going to be like packed. Going to be packed. This week, I want to say there's a Raigi special. But what I think what's good about this is I think we know enough about Battle Planets where we're good to read this,
Yeah,
but a lot of it's still for me, it's a lot of it's still kind of like new about some of the continuity stuff. The Galactor series, if you didn't read that, was pretty great.
I
That's
did
like
read it,
pretty
and
good.
when it was, I agree with you.
Yeah,
I
they're doing
concur.
they're doing a pretty good job in that. Yeah, there's Tommy Lee Edwards cover four, and again, a lot of these writers are just straight up just doing, just writing it. You know, they're
Just
doing
writing
this.
it.
But there is no this. They have yet to update this, which is weird.
I
That's
noticed that on Flash Gordon last week too.
Yeah. I think I have a picture of it that in here. So, I called you to tell you to read this.
Yeah,
This is a big to me. I don't know why they marketed it. They didn't market this at all. I don't understand.
no.
I don't understand.
For me, like Frank Villa should be doing like specials and one shots, or he should
For
be doing
annuals, he did a
or
couple annuals.
annuals,
Yeah.
or he
Hmm.
should be doing an issue of a Batman Long Halloween, Last Halloween semicolon.
Hmm.
Like that's who you should be hiring.
Yeah.
Frank Villa honestly should have did that whole series.
Yeah,
Like
that would be a good
he's,
pick. Yeah.
you know, but I mean, it's cool for him to come in and do a Nightwing. I think he's fast. I don't think he's slow.
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I think he doesn't have he doesn't have like a platform per se. Like he's kind of a more. I don't think he's necessarily a niche artist, but that's the alternate cover. Have that as the cover. I would
That's
read
great.
that.
That's a great cover.
Cover B. Make that. You can make that cover B. You can still pay Dexter Soy if you want. That's fine.
No, no, I
I'm
like
not
Dexter
mad.
Soy. I like Dexter
Yeah,
Soy a lot,
we've
actually.
liked we've liked Dexter Soy for a long time. We like his world's finest.
Yeah,
Or what was that? Robin. I'm sorry,
it was the Outsiders.
Robin and the Outsiders or something, right?
Yeah, but it was Red Hood, Bizarro,
Red
and
Hood. Yeah.
Artemis.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So good. That was really good.
It was really good. Was that Scott Lobdell?
Yeah,
Very underrated. Very
probably the best thing.
underrated.
But you know what? Like Scott Lobdell is he's raised up because when you get a good artist, you become a better writer,
Hmm.
and you create that all. It's like not it's not a competition, but you raise each other up, and you get a better book out of it.
Yeah, this Waters. Listen, Waters making a little bit of a name for himself because he did a lot of backups during that Detective Comics Ram V run, but the Ram V run I was kind of enraptured by,
Yeah,
and every time he did the backup, I felt like it was like I don't care about the story you're doing. But Ram V sometimes would plot that story and then Waters would write it, but I didn't really care. It never added too
right.
much to the main story, so I just felt it was a way you can get an extra, little bit extra. It was $1 more or whatever. I didn't need Detective Comics to be 30 story pages. I don't care. You know, just give me a good 20. I don't need
Yeah,
it to be extra. But yeah, this ended up being a lot once I saw that. And yeah, if you're going to get this, you're going to have him do his own tropes, have him do his own
orange and blue.
coloring,
He
orange and
he
blue.
he's king of orange and blue.
But there's subtle. I zoomed in on this because I think it's the same colors, but just subtle differences. I'm not sure if I imagine that this has to be somewhat digital. I know he does a lot of painted work. He does a lot of work for Mondo. I think that's the thing is I think he makes a lot of money doing screen prints and things or contract work or Criterion covers, stuff like that. Like I know Sean Phillips makes some side money doing that stuff too. He's on some Criterion covers. So I can't be mad at it. This was really, but this is where I think Dan Waters is kind of somewhat shining. This is some dark shit here. Like this is way, and this is what I want for Bloodhaven. Because remember, I rejected Bloodhaven when Bloodhaven happened. But
Right.
now I feel like it's been around so long, they're
It's part
doing
of
a
the
very
lore.
good job. And I didn't realize this was Sawyer at first. Like I didn't understand. I was like, oh, is that? I couldn't figure it out at first. But as this is we've read Captain Sawyer from Metropolis. Uh, what was that book? Didn't they had their own book, right? SCU or something like that, the name of
Yes,
Metropolis.
Metropolis. That's yeah, right.
Special Crimes Unit, basically, so with Dusty Abel covers. Boom.
Dusty Abell. Did you know Dusty Abell did the Invincible Universe? The like he wrote all that stuff. Like the who's who of the Invincible Universe.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
Oh, you got to add that to your. That's actually a really good trade. Like there's two issues of the Invincible Universe. It's like Kirkman's Who's Who. It's really good, but the trade of it has extra pages in it,
Oh.
I know, extra profiles. Like you can get the two issues, I think, digitally, but the trade you can't. So get the paper trade if you can. It's got
Son of
art
a bitch. That might be a
and
paper trade I could probably get relatively cheap though. It's
yeah,
on Abe Books.
and it's got extra stuff in the back, like Art Adams drew the Aquarius profile.
Son of a bitch.
So there's like art, there's other Aquarius stuff in the back by Art Adams.
I don't know, man. I can't have more. Well, I'll have more things. That's fine. Um, yeah, I think that just having the, I guess B, what do you call that? Bloodhaven Police Department.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of this just felt very. And listen, if you're gonna do this, you're gonna have this like this type of character, like a Sandman, Black Beetle. I have a Black Beetle hardcover that he signed. I should have him sketch it if I see him.
Oh, that's right.
I haven't seen him in a while.
No, he was at Baltimore that one year. That first year you went down with us, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I talked to him for a while, and he drew like a little drawing in it, but nothing too major. But yeah, I love it. The Black Beetle was excellent, excellent. You know what he didn't do, and I wonder if now that he's working a bit more for DC, there was like a Batman like 74 or something like that. Do you remember him doing the sketches? It was on his Instagram for a long time. I don't know if you
Hmm.
saw that. It was like Batman in like a Dodge Charger. It was actually before the
Huh.
Batman with the Dodge Charger, but. Yeah, so and I believe that he's drawing four issues of this. I just feel like this is, just and I feel like he should be bigger, but Jock got more of the clout for Black Mirror.
Yes.
And I don't
Yes, he
think
did.
that's right. I feel like I feel like they both did equal work. When Scott Snyder first took over Detective, it was Scott Snyder Jock, but then the backups and then the fill-ins were Francavilla. So, but yeah, I love it.
Frank and
I'll
Villa. What do you think his most famous work is? Some of the Archie horror stuff?
Probably the Archie horror stuff. Yeah, I mean I don't know why that's not finished or collected. I need to see if I can find the magazines for that because they did Afterlife for Archie magazine where they printed. Uh, First off, it's a little bit bigger, and I feel like there was some sketchbook stuff inside of that as like a new material. And I don't believe that's digital. I don't think they have that on digital.
Hmm.
It's just like the Marvel magazines. I have some Punisher magazines because that's fun. Because later on they reprint some Will's Portaccio stuff and they reprint some Jim Lee stuff, black and white.
That's fun.
So yeah, really fun. So here's some Tom Denerick action. So we know we love the Will
Well,
Conrad.
the Will Conrad cover is phenomenal.
Yeah, I think I don't know and we know that Will Conrad is pretty fast, but and I'm a little bummed. We're bummed out because Jeremy Adams is leaving this. We don't know who's taking it over. They keep saying that Will Conrad is coming back after the storyline. Denrick is going to finish the storyline out.
I
Denrick is
listened
kind of a
to
master of
go on.
like matching. He's matching.
Yeah, he's doing a pretty good job mastering. I listened to a Chance Wolf interview. I think
But
this is the only Chance Wolf interview I've ever heard. It's 2 hours long. He did it because he's friendly with the guy. I don't think he's done an interview since or before.
hmm,
And he was bragging about how much he loves. First off, super positive guy.
hmm.
Like Chance Wolf is a guy I would love to talk to.
Oh, nice.
Um, Super cool. If you look him up on YouTube, all you find is this Chance Wolf, the magician. That's
Hmm.
him. That's
What?
yeah. He like created like a children's how-to magic book with his wife.
Oh, wow.
That's kind of the stuff he was doing in the 20 years between working for McFarlane and before he came back and Liefeld hooked him up with Snake Eyes. Like he reached out to Liefeld, like, hey, if you ever have anything, let me know. And Liefeld's like, yeah, do Snake Eyes. And
Um,
I mean, Liefeld loves him so much, he's inking all of Giant Size Youngblood #1.
he inked some of Youngblood this week. Yeah.
Yeah, he did 5 pages of Youngblood 2025.
Boom. Youngblood
Yes,
2025. It's coming at you. Coming at you.
coming at you real soon.
Uh, so Tom Denerick. Um, yeah, again, I think Jeremy Adams just has a formula that works for this book. So whoever
It
takes this book
does
over,
because he surprises you on the first
just
page.
do
He's
this.
like, Flash Gordon shows up, and you think he's meeting up with the other chick.
Yeah,
Uh,
he's just kidding.
I'm just kidding, but here it's what's it? Man, memory's gone. Sorry, so old. Darden, right? Darden.
Yeah.
You think it's her, but here it's Ming's daughter. Who I always liked as a kid. I'm like, maybe I had a thing for the bad chicks, like Black Cat, like her.
That's right. This reminded me of Thor 2. with
Yeah,
the way Asgard looked.
the super clean Asgard. I was
Yeah, I like
no
Thor's too.
Thor 2 is better than Thor 1's Asgard. Thor 1 Asgard is like too perfect.
Yeah. No, I like. I don't know. I didn't mind Thor 2 as much as everyone dislikes it. I think Thor 2 is
No,
okay.
no, I don't dislike Thor 2. It's just the least best. Up till 4 years ago, it was probably my least favorite Marvel movie, but I
Yeah,
still liked it.
it's the third best Thor film now because the fourth one is horrible. So,
I gotta rewatch it. I
mm,
liked it the first time I saw it in the theater,
no.
but I haven't rewatched it, and that's where you really get to know something.
Yeah, there's a couple misdirects in this. I think they do a pretty good job of this, and I think that the Homecoming Dale is really good. And then
Yes,
yeah,
Dale
I
Earnhardt.
like these little I like the little
It's
like
a, it's
hover
it's a sci-fi
jets.
world, man.
Yeah, I love it. And then, you know, oh, here we go.
Look at
So this is what issue was this? 8?
that. 8. So we got two more issues of
We got
Jeremy
two
Adams.
more. So next issue is basically if it says Tale of Dale Arden, we're going to find out why Dale Arden's like this because she's been missing for 2 months.
She's been Empress
And
for 2 months.
and
That's
she's going to be murdering him, maybe. I don't
maybe.
know. But yeah, this is we're almost done. Look, man, we're in May, basically. Like give me what's happening after this. What's happening after this?
Yeah, don't know. It's going to be a relaunch with the new writer.
Yeah.
I know. It's a shame. I would love to talk to Jeremy Adams at New York Comic Con this year, but I feel like that's not going to happen. I feel like he's going to be too crowded. I feel like it's been too good of a year for him.
Do you know, did he work in animation before this? Does that sound right?
Yes.
Okay, so he did some Brave and the Bold work because I watched some retrospective of Brave and the Bold
Yes.
this week that someone talked about, and he did a lot of stuff. He actually has some scripts that I think are out there that he wrote for episodes that didn't happen with some characters that like are weird.
That's
So,
neat.
oh, good for you. Um,
Uh, Time for the next Flash.
I wish this Flash book was just Flash, right? Like this
Right?
Flash book's so good. It's weird. I feel really conflicted with this book and Aquaman because I feel like Aquaman feels like absolute Aquaman, right? Like I don't know if we need an absolute I don't know if we need two Aquaman books. Like we only have one Aquaman book, but what I
We're not.
mean is
Yeah.
like I don't know if we need two Flash books. I don't know. I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
No, this is a case where the Absolute is reading better than the official DC, but Aquaman, officially DC, is so good you don't need an Absolute.
Yeah, and the other thing too is that like and what's weird is in every book this week and last 2 weeks it's been like this week's Flash that's coming out, they're like pushing. They're like, look at read that. So I'm curious on, but I would have to go back. I feel like that book's that size barrier
Yep.
too heavy. I don't know. There's so much science in it. There was some stuff I kind of liked about the first couple. I'll try to read it, but
Yeah.
um, it's just
Is
tough
is
because this is just really clean. You
Diodato
know?
still drawing it, or has
Nah,
he moved on? No,
nah.
I know
Went to Ramon Perez, and that's better.
well, that's fine.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's good. I think what Sci-Spire forgets sometimes is that it's Wily West, and it really shouldn't be as like thick as it. He's a more simple character than Barry Allen.
Right, right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, they're
We
doing
do.
it. You're having your cake and eat it too here, basically. Even though we're not going to have a whole lot with Barry, but yeah, I don't know. This guy, I've never seen this guy before. Nick Robles, but like just the perspective on a lot of the things, and just like again, these colorists are just crazy, man. And I love this.
That's neat.
I don't know if Lemire, I imagine Lemire is dropping it in or talking about it. I mean, Lemire, I'm not sure if Lemire is giving them layouts. This feels kind of like a Lemire page, doesn't it? Like the way this is all kind of breaking apart. But yeah, it's really something. I really think that, and these colors are just monster beautiful, man. Did you feel like this was like Dr. Manhattan, like right here, a little bit?
Yeah, I
That's
can
what
see
I
that.
thought of. I'm fine with it. Fine with it. But look at just there's so much stuff going on. These pages are gorgeous. And look, I know that we're not. We try not to bash other comics. There's no Marvel book that's trying anything like this. Zero. The only
No,
person that's doing anything like this at Marvel potentially is maybe Stegman and Netho Diaz. That's it. No one's really doing that stuff. And actually, what's weird is the B artist of Avengers, right?
right.
Not Valerio Schiti, the B artist. They're doing wacky stuff. They're
The
doing
and
heavier
and
stuff.
and Hulk. Hulk is probably one of Marvel's best books.
Yeah, Nick Klein's out of control. Yeah, Nick
Yeah,
Klein is
he's
is
putting everything into it.
But he used to color all his stuff himself, and now he has a colorist. So, I mean, just we're straight up super happy with all the colorists and how they're just like working their ass off. Like this is crazy.
Yeah, but they're probably not getting paid for it.
Well, DC they'll get paid. DC they're getting paid more, you know. But look at
DC's
these
smarter about
pages, dude.
keeping people. Yeah, that's neat. That's neat. Flash Two Worlds.
Mhm.
I love it.
I love it, dude. I think it's great. I think it's great, and I love that this feels like the time we talked about this before. That's such a Tom Riley design. That's so GI Joe right there.
Yes,
You
it
know.
is.
But this was, I think I knew this, right? Wasn't Grodd in the first issue? Wasn't there
Well,
like
yeah,
the
they
monkey
showed
in?
them small.
Yeah, right.
So your assumption is, uh-oh, did they mutate him? Has it been a couple years, you know?
And is he gonna be bad? I mean,
Right?
yeah,
Nope,
yeah.
they fooled us. They fooled us for that whole extra second.
Adriano Lucas. Again, this team's stupid, man. This team, what a good team. Hmm. Yeah, and I'm excited this week is Absolute Martian Manhunter, so I'm curious how that's gonna go. But is it weird? Like, yeah, then you have the finished book, you're like, go read the other Flash book. It's like,
And you're like, do I have to? It's Eclipso versus an army of Wily West. No. All right. I
oh,
wish I could be more excited about it. I wish I could be. I love
I don't
Flash.
know if this is the guy I know who's drawing it. I'm not sure who that is. So maybe I don't know.
I mean, I read Flash from post-crisis, actually from 300 up, from 300 to 350,
Hmm.
post-crisis, all through Wade's run, all through Jeff Johns' run, all through Williamson's run, all through Jeremy Adams' run. I've read
Hmm.
every Flash, and Cy Spire is the
Yeah.
one who bored me.
Well, the Wade comeback was no good though.
No,
You know what lost me? I think when
the
it was
chain lightning.
the Wade Augustin. No, not Chain Lightning. And then whenever he had the twins and stuff, when he had the babies and stuff,
Oh,
like that was just the fam. When he did the
didn't
fam.
they try to give us like Ladron covers on that?
Yeah, no, thanks.
No, that wasn't. I was, you know what it was? The artist didn't fit the book.
Mm,
I forget who it was. I just didn't remember liking it on Flash.
yeah.
Hmm.
This is. Did you read the main story of this book?
Of course.
This is rough, man. I hate, I hate Romulus. I
Yep.
hate. Is that Batman in the bottom corner? Who the hell is that?
At Cyber.
Gatchaman? Cyber. Maybe put him a little differently, and it's just like Batman's down
It does look at Batman.
there.
Yeah. You know,
Ay,
it's
ay,
sad. They
ay.
have Romulus in it, and they never bring up Remus, his sister, who,
I,
guess what, is a redhead, which Wolverine loves. So, you know,
wait, do
Wolverine,
you
of
think
course,
this?
bangs her.
Okay, this is my theory.
What's your
Is
theory?
this issue 8 and 9? And then they were like, "Oh shit, Wolverine 400. We'll charge $9." You know what I mean? Like why? There's two exactly the same stories. Are they? I didn't count them out. I don't know if they're like 20 pages, 20 pages. Like just give me like a Danny. Listen, this is what you should have done. Y- Like there's no one, and I feel like this week X-Force 10 comes out. But you know what X-Force 10 is, right?
Last issue?
X-Force 300. It's X-Force 300. They say it,
Oh,
and then they say like special anniversary issue. It's the fine. It's canceled. It's canceled.
yeah. They asked Liefeld to do a cover for that, and they were asking him to do a 35th anniversary X-Force one shot or something. And he's like, no, you guys treated me like garbage. I'm out.
Good.
So,
Yeah, just do
yeah,
your own
because,
shit. Look behind me. It's the best. That's
dude,
new.
yeah,
That's brand new.
I prefer the blood over the Force. I just do.
Give me that
Personal
blood
opinion.
over that force. Just force it. I don't know. I don't know. It didn't feel like a number four. Come on, man. Like again, like look at that. They only have like even the covers aren't really that wonderful. That the Andy Kupert's fine. There's no good cover here except for the Daniel Warren Johnson, which
You
I
don't,
have a picture of later.
yeah, you don't have like a, I don't know, a Mark Silvestri Wolverine drawing laying around, you know? You don't have, this is 400. That's a big deal.
Dude, I'm
It
telling
should
you,
be a huge
these are
deal.
two separate issues. I'm fucking telling you because again, Arcade is not hinted in the first story. Why are you doing two stories that are not connected in the same book?
Fucking bores me.
It's
Ar-
so I
Arcade,
hate
I hate
Arcade.
Arcade.
I've always hated Arcade.
Yeah. He was probably awesome the first time he showed up, but after that, I'm like, all right, X-Men aren't going to
There's
fall for your murder room again. Like, they're just, It's like, come on, man. How many times are they going to end up in your murder room?
They've done that so many times. It's so bad.
And other characters too. That was a,
And and you're pulling this. This is the shit you're pulling.
you know, what's funny? I don't actually mind this
I know.
because
I know.
we don't know where Wolverine got his powers from. We just assumed they came from Logan, Pa Logan, or
Ah,
but like Dog didn't have powers, and he didn't have powers.
right.
But like, so it's funnier that the powers come from her than
This just feels
Logan.
so much like it's a really weird, and I'm not sure where this guy's from, is Martin Kokolo, and I do like the majority of his action stuff. I didn't put anything in because this is the only thing that intrigued me at all. I didn't put any art of this in. He's not bad. He's actually a good artist, and I typically like. Oh, I like Percy's run then. So you know what's funny is this
Oh yeah,
run is
first he
worse
was
than
good.
Percy's run, but Percy's run wasn't that good. So it's like you're right.
No,
It's like diminished.
it's
It's like
Percy's run
do.
starts off good, but he's got like Adam Kubert, right? So it's like,
Yeah, it's lifted
uh,
a little bit. It's helped. You know,
yeah, it's helped. It's
I feel
raised
like
up,
Adam
dude.
Kubert is probably the most. He's probably drawn Wolverine for the most writers. I think that's probably right.
I can agree with that.
Because
Did that one thing with Jason Aaron.
yeah, I mean, I feel like he was in. I think well, and Adam worked with Peter David, Larry Hama, Joe Kelly on one of the ultimate one. Wasn't there like a Deadpool Wolverine mini or something? I don't know. I feel
Yeah,
like he's
yeah.
done
That was Jason Aaron or Joe Kelly.
both, or he's worked with Joe Kelly as well. So I
Yeah,
feel like because yeah, so because he did X-Men for a while too. But yes, this did intrigue me a little bit, but but this is the whole reason to get it.
right.
These 10 pages basically. There's 10 pages, uh, and that's Danny Warren Johnson. I wonder. We don't know what he's doing after. The Moon is Following Us just finished, which I don't know if we should do a separate review on that because I didn't. I only read the first issue, and I don't know if we should do a separate review show for that. Uh,
We could once it's done, we could review it.
it's done now, I think. I think 8 came out.
Oh, was that the last issue?
Yeah.
I didn't read issue 8 yet, so all right.
There you go.
Yeah, just look at it. It's just so fluid, and literally, there's fluids coming out of that dude's back.
Yeah, I mean,
They,
this is just like, I mean, to me, whenever I see this, I just think of the BPRD like James Harren,
uh-huh.
and that's his like idol. That's like one of his like major admitted, and he talked to him about it. He talked, can I, and James Harren gave him advice. So, but I just love this motion blur type of situation that has just been adopted through Jorge Corona does it on the book on Transformers,
Right.
and just super super fun. But yeah, just sad. I would love a series of this. I that maybe if this is a prequel. I don't know. What was so let's think about Wolverine Future Tales, right? Of course we got Old Man Logan. Did you read Snicked when the Snicked came out? That
Yeah,
was kind of fun
by
too.
Akira.
It might have been CB
It
Cebulski as
wasn't
the
Akira Yoshida. I don't think. I don't
I
think.
don't know. Well, it was literally it may have been adapted, it might have been by the writer artist and then like Akira CB Cebulski pretending he's a Japanese man or woman.
Hmm.
Uh,
You got Days
is
of Future
scripted.
Past.
Mhm.
You have Wolverine: The End, written by Paul Jenkins, drawn by
Claudio,
Claudio Castellini. There you
I have
go.
that. You know what's
Um,
bad about they have a trade for that, and the trade like I think has the covers like small or something, just like you
ugh,
said
the worst.
on something recently that came out. You're like, why are you doing this? What are you doing?
Yeah.
That should be oversized. That should be Wolverine
There.
Ends really good.
Oh, I like Wolverine: The End.
What if they did a good trade of like Origin 1, 2, but Jenkins
Jenkins didn't write
wrote
two.
2? He didn't write 2.
No.
Charles Soule.
Nope.
Hmm. Tough one.
Who writes Power Fantasy?
I don't know.
Mark. He's one of those dudes that came in with Al Ewing and Dennis Hopeless, and
Yeah.
it's starting to tip my tongue too.
Yeah. Tough doing these nighttime. We're better in the morning.
Yeah.
Probably do this in the
I
morning.
think we're funnier at night, but like our memories better in the morning. We got like sundown syndrome.
Uh, I don't know, but anyway, so that's the thing. So what's
Not Cullen Bunn either.
yeah,
Who's the other one just
Steve
like it?
Orlando.
No, before his time.
Mm,
I feel like Steve Orlando's newer.
I
That's
don't
fine.
know, man.
I'll remember it. I won't.
Let's see. Let's see. Let's do a quick rundown.
See, this is
Ready?
my page because this is everything I loved.
Hmm.
I didn't start buying Wolverine till this issue. The issue with Wolverine retelling the tale of when he's young.
This one
Yep, that's the first
with
issue
Jim
I
Lee.
bought. But then I hurry up and got like I started buying it monthly at 42 with Cable and Sabretooth.
Hmm.
That's what made me love the series. I'm like Cable and Sabretooth. I was such a Sabretooth fan. Before I was a Sabretooth fan before I was a Wolverine fan.
Okay.
And then I went back and got all the issues, got issue 10, because issue 10 is the awesome Wolverine Sabretooth fight. That's the first two things that like for like we Wolverine was still a mystery back then. And any
Hmm.
piece of information you get about Wolverine, we loved it. So Wolverine 10 is the first telling of Wolverine Sabretooth fight. Wolverine
Right.
25 is like here he is as a kid. The problem is, and when you get to Wolverine 42 with Sabretooth, they start having flashbacks to when they were like Weapon X agents together and stuff.
Right. Right.
And then after that, we were getting the Weapon X miniseries, and we got the classic X-Men, which had a backup. Like Wolverine's hanging out by like a bridge, and Sabretooth just comes up from behind, slashes his throat, throws him in the river. He's like, "Happy birthday." I loved all that
Right.
stuff. It was such a better comic verse back then. Didn't you just feel like everything was so important? Everything was so special? Like I
Yeah, I
can't tell
think
you
it's
what's
better
special
rooted.
today.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this running through. I wonder. All right, so this run, this is all Buscema here. This is a Gene Colan issue. Who did the 10?
Sienkiewicz.
Think of it as interiors too.
Yeah.
Uh, I don't remember that. And then I think this is Buscema again, John, for the again Stone affair.
Hmm.
This issue with the Sasquatch where he's fighting the guy on the front. That's my first issue of Wolverine that I
All
owned.
right.
And I love the John Byrne. Even though at that time, of course, I didn't know who John Byrne was. And I remember what's funny is this is a John Byrne through.
Or is it Sienkiewicz inks on number 10?
I think Kevin Dink's somebody in that. I'm not sure who
I
it
think
is
you're
though.
right.
The Jim
We
Lee
we
issue,
got the John Byrne, the
right?
Jim Lee covers. They're
Jim Lee
so
two
good.
covers. That this well, actually what's funny about this Jim Lee cover is when it first came out, I'm like, hey, you're just ripping off that, like, because I had that one,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and I was like, it's the same. And then you're back to the Nolan. These are Chiarello covers. That's right. These are Mark Chiarello covers, so that's really fun. Because when I first saw, I think this one, I thought Mignola did it, but it's
Yes,
Mark
I can
Chiarello.
understand.
And then you got your Silvestri. These are
Beautiful.
wonderful.
Yep.
Um, this issue here is a
Larry
Larry
Stroman.
Stroman. Yeah,
Yeah.
very good, very very good. And then this Kirk
But they were
Jarovin
smart enough
cover.
to give you a Silvestri last page or at least a real good pinup, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And
That's
it's a really good Silvestri.
it's like no, I think it's the first page. I think it's like the intro. Like
He's like
it's
sitting in front of like a pond or
yeah,
something.
it looks like a cover.
What's
It
what's
looks
great
like
about Wolverine is you had pinups, you had the Wolverine gallery. So you had back covers by like John Bolton,
wow.
McFarlane, Liefeld, Jim Lee. Like you got
Hmm.
all these incredible back covers. And when they stopped doing them on the back cover, they put them inside and you got like really good Art T-Bear and Mignola. Like
Okay.
Wolverine was like a great package comic.
Yeah, it was prestige. It was more, it was
Nice,
more deluxe,
nice Baxter paper, maybe. Was it Baxter paper at first?
at first, yeah. And
Before
then
they stopped calling it that.
Silvestri for the
Yep.
351 is a really good Andy. Back to Silvestri. Derek
Darryl.
Robertson.
Yep, Derek Robertson.
Silvestri. Derek Robertson.
Right.
Strowman cover. I don't remember if who did that interior. It might have been Dwayne Turner. Is there a Dwayne Turner in here somewhere?
There is a Dwayne Turner because he does take over the book for a minute.
This or is that the Dwayne Turner issue?
No, that's Mark Pacella.
Blah. So you got some good
F
Texiera,
you. Texas. The tech stuff
Tex.
is,
There's Dwayne Turner. Dwayne Turner's
yeah.
here. One, two, three, four, five. I like the Wolverine on this, the Savage finale. Like I like the way he's floating there. That's really good. And then it goes to Adam.
Correct.
right? Adam all the way through. Someone right in this one. This one is the this one they just did. What's so funny about that issue with the saber tooth? They just did like a facsimile edition of that. Isn't half of that book lifted? Like all that book is like it's like Fabio Laguna or something like that.
Oh, did he lift from that issue?
No, I think that's I don't think Adam does a lot of that issue. I think that issue is half filled in by like one of those Glass House Arts
Oh,
guys, and most of the stuff is traced and
hmm.
swiped from Jim Lee. So I was like, yeah, it's a very famous book because of the cover is it's Adam drawings there and ink drawings there, but if you remember that's the Hildebrand. So
Yeah, the Hillebrand. Right,
Hildebrand's
right.
it folds out like times
But that's the
four.
one that ends with the bone claws through Sabretooth's head, right?
Uh yes.
And then
Yes.
it leads directly into Age of Apocalypse,
Yes, there.
right?
Yeah, because then this is when it comes back.
Right.
This to this. Because you have Weapon X for 4 months. Um, so a lot of Adam there, and then what do we got after this? Oh, 1 to 100.
You got diminishing returns. Where's 102 and a half with the Barnes Vallejo
Valsamix.
cover?
You don't have it. Not there.
Yeah.
You got yeah, Adam's kind of through Adam throughout a little bit. There's
Adam's
pretty much
good.
the black, white, and red started right there, sort of,
Yeah.
you know.
And then
And
we
you
got
got
the
Little
Lionel
Francis
Francis
Yu.
Yu, right?
This is the so you got Little Francis Yu on that. Was it Operation something?
Who does he start off? Does he start off with Warren Ellis?
It doesn't look like that from here. I think you're right. I feel like this is where he started. Maybe just at the covers here. I'm not sure if he did the interiors there.
I think he came right in. What he did? Did he work with Warren Ellis first, and then it goes to like Larson and then Claremont?
It goes to Zago,
We Zago did not do the famous issue though. Like he wrote it, but then it got finished by Brian K. Vaughan.
Frank A. Vaughan, where he wrote the Killer, but
Killer, known
he
as
wrote
Sabretooth.
it in
Sloppy
pen,
handwriting. Yeah, didn't look good.
so it looked like Kike. Won't say. Who is
Don't
that?
say.
That's a Brandon Peterson
Yeah,
interior. I'm trying to remember who drew that inside.
could be. And then you got
That was Little
Larson taking it
Francis Yu.
over,
Larson
and the
Matsuda. Fun.
Matsuda for 6 issues,
Yeah.
and then Lino Francis Yu comes back, and Lino goes, just don't. He thought like the Matsuda run was a little bit goofy, and Larson's like, yeah, I can write a little more serious. That's fine.
Oh, that's
Uh,
interesting. Because Larson did, he stayed on with you for a while. Stayed on
yeah,
with
he did.
you.
145 is gorgeous. I think that's where Wolverine's revealed his death, but like Hulk's in it and Sabretooth's in it, like it's all Lino Yu. It's a
Mm.
fantastic issue.
And then we
He
got, so we got Larson's covers here, but he didn't do
Roger
interiors too,
Cruz.
right? Roger
Roger
Cruz art
Cruz
too.
drew the inside, but like he got inked by someone whose style didn't match Roger Cruz, so it looked a little wonky.
Yeah.
And 150 is Steve Scrose.
Roach did
I
one,
think Mike
two,
Miller did
three, four.
149.
Mm.
Larson was friendly with Mike Miller. They're not friends now because they're too politically opposed.
Mm.
Um, but they were friendly back then. It's weird. And they've always been politically opposed, but now it's like, now you can't work together. Scrose comes on, which is great. Scrose wanted to stay on for a year, but then Matrix 2 happened, so they called him off. And he's like, I gotta go. So
Yeah, yeah.
Marvel called up Liefeld, like, can you do a couple fill-in issues? Liefeld's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So he
Right.
does two.
And Churchill.
Ian Churchill does two, and Liefeld never comes back for the fifth issue.
Mm.
Don't know why. There was a fifth issue drawn, which half of it has been bastardized throughout other Deadpool series. Like he's used some pages. I've seen it.
Oh, I see. Okay. And then it goes to Frank Thierry and
Frank
Sean
Thierry and Sean
Chen.
Chen, which is good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think John Lucas drew the issue between.
Right there, yeah.
Yeah,
And then this Wolverine is I think it's the end of this storyline, but then there is like 5 or 6 pages of a Weapon X story
yeah, right.
by BWS, which is in the Weapon X Gallery edition, like the
Yes,
whatever that big one. So
beautiful, beautiful
that's
hardcover.
pretty fun. That's a wonderful hardcover. And then it gets messy. I don't know. I don't really remember. I think there's a lot of people who work on
I think
these.
that's a Dave Finch cover. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a Dave
I think Thierry,
Finch,
I think it's still Thierry writing it though. I
and
think.
then J.H. Williams III has some covers throughout here, and then it's gone, and then they cancel it
And they
here.
cancel it and they bring back volume two with is that Greg Rucka? Rucka?
Rucka, yeah, Rucka Robertson, and then it
Robertson.
went Rucka Leandro Fernandez.
Of
This
course.
cover I think was somewhat famous in its that Ribbit cover because I feel like that what that they said that like Nightwing is from Nightwing. The Nightcrawler is just naked. That was the
That's
rumor
funny.
about that. And then it's like, he's got his dick out. It's not.
Right.
It's just a bottle. Very, And then this cover is like lifted, right? It's a Leonardo Fernandez cover. But when I saw that cover, I'm just like, isn't that the Punisher War Journal cover? Boo, boo. So you got some, yeah, Robertson. Yeah, then you got the Miller, JR.
Right, which is 12 issues total, right?
Yeah, Casada cover, some boring Greg Land covers.
Then
Looks
you
like
got
a Car Andrews
right,
issue
right. No. Oh yeah, Car Andrews art. Still a
right
Mark Miller
there.
story.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's the Eisner inspired story. Like the quote unquote fake story where he supposedly talked to Eisner about it or something. I forget.
Oh, okay. Huh.
It's a very
Um,
weird story. It's a silent issue. There's no
oh, enough said.
it's enough said issue.
It's enough said issue.
Then you got House of M.
Yeah. And then they do what was this? Origins and endings. So they're doing like an origin, somewhat post-quel,
Well, yeah,
post-quel.
because after House of M, like after she says like no more mutants and everyone comes back, Wolverine's like, I remember everything.
Yeah,
So now you got to explore the world of Wolverine remembering everything. And guess what? He doesn't really do a lot with it. Kind of a letdown. Like he
yeah.
thought there'd be more adventures. So, but I thought maybe they were just spreading it out, but it just never ends up being enough.
I feel like this issue is Stuart Moore and C.P. Smith. C.P. Smith did some work for Vertigo for a little bit.
I feel like you could be right there.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You got it was this
The
Guggenheim?
Guggenheim and
Guggenheim Ramos.
Ramos,
Really
yeah,
good 6 issue run there. Um, and then you have this boring fucking mess, which is the Jeff Loeb, Simone Bianchi,
right. That's the
Romulus
Kree
storyline.
Romulus storyline. I was really looking
There's
forward to that.
the Chaykin fill in here. And then I want to
Issue
say that,
50 has the really good Ed McGuinness backup story. Wolverine's going through a mental break, but then Ed McGuinness gets to redraw the Ultimate Wolverine Hulk fight where Hulk rips him in
yeah,
half.
right. Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason for it to happen, but
Mm.
it's awesome to see Ed McGuinness draw that.
It kind of flounders right in here. You do have some good,
Garney
some
stuff,
Ron Garney stuff right
yeah.
there.
That's is that it's not Jason Aaron, is it?
I think so. Yeah.
I think yeah. All right,
Then you have the Miller, Old Man Logan. But see, what's weird about this is that like, does this technically the numbering's off because technically Old Man Logan. So they have the Old Man Logan special.
they don't have the giant size Old
Yeah, they
Man
don't.
Logan.
Nah, it doesn't count
It
because that would
doesn't
be right
count
there.
numbers wise, technically.
It should,
It's like any other annual.
I guess.
I mean, think
Nah.
about it. Other annuals, other stories ended in annuals in the past.
And I guess
I know.
you would count this Wolverine Weapon X series, which I never read that. Was that Aaron?
Yeah, that was Jason Aaron.
Huh.
It's good. It's good
I
enough.
like this. I like this Jason Aaron stuff down here because this was all when he had
Is that where
all his
Wolverine
kids
went?
and
Is
stuff.
that when Wolverine went to hell?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's some good stuff.
that's good. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that it just kind of flounders and then they just get into this loop where they just start rebooting it, right? Because then it gets rebooted here with Paul Cornell and Alan Davis. And they have a couple issues of this.
All right, and then it gets rebooted again with Paul Cornell and Stegman.
Yep, right there again.
There we
So
go.
again, this is kind of what we were, talking about. We talked a little bit about the Amazing Spider-Man. Like, I want to have a project where we go through all the number ones of this. Wolverine, we could do the same thing. It's like, okay, because
Yeah,
again, every time they do an issue with number one of Wolverine, it's less and less impactful. So if we go back, so these are all, where's number one here? Number one with this was the Greg Rucka, right?
yeah, right.
And then the number one after that was Weapon X? No, Weapon X. Yeah, they
Yeah,
restarted
yeah.
there. And then that's okay for a bit. And then until it gets to, oops, let me see. And then until it gets to here. where was that cell? Did Ahmed or something in here? I don't remember. Yeah, then you have the Paul Cornell and then Paul Cornell again.
Right.
And then it goes to Ben Percy here-ish. That's number one again. Jesus. One, two, three, four. Like it's just that's it. Oh, so wait, you're not going to count the death of Wolverine? You're not going to count the return of Wolverine? That's 12 issues.
Those are technically Wolverine issues because we didn't get another Wolverine during that time.
Oh
And you don't count
my
Old Man
God.
Logan. You don't count Wolverines. They didn't count Wolverine Origins. That was like 50 issues.
Ugh.
And
Well, I
I know,
don't count
right?
Wolverine Origins because Wolverine Origins just kind of was shit. Like it was never, there was never, I don't think I've ever read a story in any of the Wolverine Origins that I was like, oh, good. You know what I mean? Like it was just, it never
Like he was lucky to get Steve
appealed to
Dillon
me.
for a while.
Yeah.
He lucked out. Daniel Way was like an okay writer. There was
Yeah.
stuff in it that was good, but like I never really vibe with Dakin.
I think I did when Jason Aaron did him because he
Yes.
was a
Well, yeah.
fucker. You know what I mean? He's a fucker. And then also when they used him in Dark Avengers, is that
That was a good,
Bendis?
yeah. Maybe.
Dakin fucking murders Punisher, right? Doesn't he chop him up?
Yeah. Chops him up, dude,
It's
during the
fucking
list.
nuts.
That's like the
That's
ending to the
fucking
list.
nuts.
That was good.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. That's some crazy shit. And then you got a Percy reboot, I think somewhere in here after that, and you got then they renumbered your 350 here. I don't think I've read any of these here.
I think I read them, but I don't
Yeah,
remember much.
yeah. There's Helverine, right? Is that the Helverine
Mm.
Wolverine, the claws, and then you slog through the what was it, the 10 deaths of Sabretooth or some shit. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my
Yeah,
God. There we go. Look at that. Boom. 7.99 for this fucking book. The only thing, look, we had more fun with pictures of old books than we did pretty
that's
much
true.
everything
We
else
talked
in there.
more about the first 400
Every
issues than
everything. Yeah. Ah, see the Martin Cocolo because you got that Batman in the corner, that gets discounted. Everything else you got to pay retail. Limit one per customer. Danny Warren Johnson.
yep, 'cause
It's
that's the
cool.
cover
I
everyone's
just,
buying.
yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. It was a bummer. Anyway, that's enough.
All
So
right,
two books left. Let's get through it. We spent a ton of time on that fucking like covers of
we did. We did because
300 covers.
it's a
It's our shit.
claw down memory lane,
Claw
and
down.
we are trying to avoid Alzheimer's. So if we can remember stuff, that'll help.
Yeah. This book befuddles me. So we have Dynamite just kind of puts they just rotate. So next month's probably going to be Jay Lee cover A for Thundercats. And you know what? I don't care because I feel like between Matina, Jay Lee, Declan Shalvey, like they're all super good. So you can just rotate it. Like it's fine. Here
Right.
they have for whatever reason they're just like they should do that. IDW should adopt that here. They for whatever reason have Jorge Fornes doing the fist cover, which is not technically it is continuity. This covers more continuity than the other ones, than the other ones we're gonna look at. But uh he doesn't look like this. He's much sicklier, and this rat doesn't look as dead as it should. Okay.
Yes.
So Juan Ferreira is a beast.
Yep. Look at this
He's doing
stuff.
the arts and colors. He's from Argentina, I think. I think that's where he's from. He's South American.
All right.
There's no one, look, I know we talk a lot about who's doing what. I think Christian Ward does again everything colors up and down, but this guy is just nuts. And he's drawing the language in. This is Jason Aaron's best book. It's his most fully formed book. I think Bug Wars is probably, right now because Creator owns probably his second best, but this is the number one book for me. Um, Action's great. This them all being shattered. Every one of their storylines is interesting. So the
Yes.
build of this book is kind of crazy. I love Donatello the most. I always kind of loved Donatello the most. So this is really heartbreaking for me to have Donnie like this messed up. And he basically has like, I don't what's that called when you get out of jail and you want to go back in jail? I don't, there's a term for that, I believe.
There's a term for that.
Um, but it's like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. We don't know. We
Yeah,
can't think.
all I know is
Uh,
Donatello does machines. Take that,
no,
take that for what you want.
he does machines. He does.
He does machines.
Um,
What do you do?
oh,
I do machines.
I think I told you need to go onto YouTube. Someone has. I'm trying to think. There's a guy who does has a side by side because Peter Chung did the storyboards for the this opening for the TMNT Turtles cartoon opening. Okay.
Oh yeah,
Um, but they must have changed. I forget who dances. Michelangelo?
yeah. Michelangelo.
It's a
He's a
party
party machine.
dude, right?
He's a party dude.
Yeah, but there's something else that's in the storyboard that is not him dancing in like a disco.
Oh
Like
really?
I forget what it is. I think he's doing some wacky shit. Anyway, every bit of this is interesting. The only
You know,
thing I think that should have happened in this is after he gives maybe they are doing that. Like they're basically having him listen to Splinter, you know.
no, what else is awesome? I love being a turtle.
Oh my God. Is that your what is that from?
This is from 1990, the year of the movie. It's the
Okay.
cartoon version. I seen that store. I was walking through. It was me, my younger brother TJ, and my mom walking through. I don't
Mm.
know, KB or Toys R Us, and I just saw it. I'm like, I kind of want that. And I was
Yeah.
like 14 at the time. So yeah, me and TJ each got one. TJ actually got Donatello. This is Leonardo, but he's big, dude. It's like I don't know, 15, 16 inches.
Yeah. No,
I
that's
got the
big.
sword
That's
around. I
pretty
got the
cool.
sword around somewhere. But what's cool is this is like a permanent. This is like a good memory with my mom.
Mm.
It was like ended up
Yeah.
being like a birthday present. So it was like June, and TJ ended
Mm.
up using his for his birthday present as well. I don't know if TJ still has his. TJ has my younger brother that's still alive.
Mm.
So tragic. It
How do I
is.
get out of this? All right, let me let's keep moving. Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, anyway, so here he's going to turn himself in. So, again, I don't know exactly I can't get enough of this book. I think this book is like the
Yeah.
best. This is the best. This is the most engaged I've been with Teenage Mutant Turtles for a long time. What's interesting is there hasn't really been like a bad run. There's always been pretty good runs or good runs or very
Right.
good run. I like City of War. I think City of War is excellent. Um, but look at the dude. If I, what are you gonna do? Like to me, this is the least interesting because I feel like I have enough. I've seen enough Kevin Eastman's stuff. I'm good, right? But this would be my cover A, man. I want,
See, I disagree with you. I think you could always get more. I love Kevin Eastman. Like I
yeah,
can't. I feel like he didn't draw turtles enough, which is a really weird thing to say.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
like, how many issues did they really do together?
No, you might be right.
13? 15?
12 or 13 plus some micros,
Yeah.
couple specials. No, you're right. I mean, look, he wrote it out.
He did a something was just he did a New Mutants 98 takeoff recently. I forget who's on it, but it's really
Mm.
awesome looking.
Oh
So
yeah, I'll go through this out. But I think this Carrie Randolph one, I want to see
yeah,
it
I was
when
gonna
it's all
say.
together because I
Yeah.
imagine it seems like it's all going to be put together. So,
Yeah, I like Harry
but it would
Randolph a
be
lot.
tough, man. It would be tough to figure out which one you go with. Like, I think this person's drawing the Turtles mutant book that Sophie Campbell, I believe, is
You
still
know,
working on.
Carrie Randolph was supposed to draw an Adam Eve miniseries for Kirkman back in
Mm.
Invincible's like second year. It just ended up not happening.
Yeah, I just don't like it. And I don't really know what they're going to do with. I mean, I imagine they're going to have to make Donatello like, back to somewhat normal eventually. I hope not.
Yeah,
I
at
hope
some
they
point.
I hope they ride it for a while. I hope they ride it for 2, 3 years. Just ride him like just a little nuts.
No, no, it's fine.
It's very interesting. Very interesting.
All right.
So this I only grabbed, I won't go into, well, I love Conan. There you go. You got it. But
Yeah.
I grabbed all the covers because I feel like they just started doing this up from the last issue. They're putting the old trade dress and then they have the corner box ish.
Mhm.
So I think that's really fun. This is Ben
Oh,
Templesmith.
that's
I
cool.
don't know if I've seen a lot of Ben Templesmith of late, so I'm not sure who
Go
this
go
is. This
follow him on
feels.
Twitter. You know what he did last year? He
Hmm.
spent like 50 days every day drawing a different He-Man character. It's
Really? Oh, that's
awesome.
interesting. I
Yeah.
don't know. I wouldn't think of him drawing that, but
Yeah.
I will. Um, this is fine, but there's your cover, man. There's the
There's
Roberto
your
Delatorre.
Buscema love cover. That's a Buscema love cover.
Well, I guess what's crazy about it is I'm a big fan of the Kubert Tarzan, the Joe Kubert Tarzan run. He had two
Right.
different runs, and then he kind of does what he always does is
That
he edits.
do you like his tour run too?
Yes, I like the new. I have the new tour run, the one that the heavy hitters, and I got them for like 50 cents a piece, the 4 issue series. That heavy hitters did, which was like epic
That was great.
line,
That was like
whatever.
magazine size. Nice
It's
card stock.
huge, beautiful. Yeah, I got it for 50 cents a piece, and at
Did did Tartar ever get a comic?
no,
You know what I'm talking about?
I'm not sure.
Creators Universe card series was
Oh,
the
right.
foil cards was the Kubert family, and one of them, and Joe Kubert had a character who looked like Tarzan or Tor called Tartar.
Tarzan. He didn't
That's
have
right.
one called Zan.
Maybe
So, oh my gosh.
Tor.
Uh, right. They all met up. The three were together. Yeah, it was were the
Yeah,
Coopers the
yeah,
three together.
hmm
Yeah, we gotta do. Do you have a set of that or
yeah,
no?
yeah.
You do?
I do have a set.
Son of a bitch. I don't know where
Hey,
I have mine. They're just gone. They're trash. I don't know.
gone.
It's a bummer.
Sergeant Major Acre was another Adam Kubert card within the series. Really
I'm
awesome
about
looking.
90% sure you can go on eBay and buy a box, like a sealed box of that for relatively cheap.
I think you can.
Hmm.
I think there was a couple cards that hit valuable. I think Lisner has a couple cards in there that's real valuable at
Yeah,
one
yeah.
point. I don't know if they are anymore. When Dan Fraga joined Comicsgate and announced Black Flag as his first book, which actually hasn't come out yet, sadly. He he's got two cards for Black Flag, I think, in there.
Frag boom.
Fragaboom. And my favorite cards are Art T-Bear. So Art T-Bear was going to do a Nightwing Starfire miniseries for DC. He was going to write it and draw it. Doesn't end up happening. So his two connecting cards are Nightfire and Starwing. He just took his
Oh
art
wow.
and changed it.
You can buy, and this might be,
I knew you were going to say it.
yeah, man.
You should already own it, but go on.
Yep. I'm gonna write it down.
Write it down.
Nightwing, Art T Bear,
Promotional
press poster.
poster. Yeah,
It's a real poster. It was for sale.
I
It was
know.
$6 or whatever, 6, $7. It's just crazy to me that made it to a poster and that never came out. Like
No,
that's
he loves
crazy.
Nightwing. Like that's one of his favorite characters.
It's so confusing that the book didn't come out. That's so confusing to me. And then it
Yeah,
took a year or two out later, and then it went to Dixon. It was like 2 extra years. They just sat on that property. And I didn't like Dixon when it first came out. Remember, I was mad about it.
right.
I didn't believe that there would be like a bad Gotham next to Gotham. I'm like, get
Dude,
out of here,
I
man.
remember you saying like,
It's
I don't
bad.
want a Dixon book. I want a Dixon mouth. That's what you said.
That's right. That's what I say every day.
That's what you,
That's right.
that's
Anyway,
right.
I'm gonna talk about the story in this, but I just want to talk about this. This entire week has been about colorists. I'm not even gonna talk
I can
about any of the
agree.
story. Look at the colorists here, dude. Like just insane. This
Yeah.
is dangerous Diego Rodriguez. I do love that.
Diabolical Doug. That's good.
Yeah,
And
they've been doing this for a while. Actually, I think the whole series, which kind of comes from Rascally Roy Thomas and Big John Buscema or something. Like
what did Alan Moore call himself in 1963?
mm, I don't remember.
Affable. Affable Al.
Not really. Kind of the opposite of affable.
If you know him, supposedly he's affable.
Look at this page, dude. Holy mackerel! Look at all the colors in this page.
That's neat.
They're peppering in the Thothamon stuff. Thothamon of this stuff. So they're
Gotta catch
doing
them
they're
all.
doing some stuff in here for Thothamon. But what a crazy this again. Let's listen. This is I don't know how old Doug Braithwaite is. I imagine he is probably 50, close to 60. Um,
It's a good guess.
because he worked on a lot of stuff in the 90s. He worked on a lot of Marvel UK stuff, a lot of 2000 AD stuff. But this is really ridiculous. This is listen. This is great. Solomon Kane. I read that this morning. Patch Zurcher again, younger than this, but
Yeah.
very similar. And Patch is doing all of it up and down. This he's just doing pencils things here, and then Colors is working
I
on the
liked
rest. But
Doug Braithwaite did a Hulk Namor annual, and I remember liking it because Hulk goes underwater, and to make him breathe underwater, it ends up turning him blue. I'm like, oh, that's really cool looking, like a blue Hulk.
it's not. It's Doug Troop Wildy.
What?
It's not Doug Braithwaite.
No,
Somebody else.
you sure?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what issue I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. Nope.
I could have swore he drew that.
Nope. I'm gonna put it in. Corrections Department
That's fine.
Hulk Annual, and I have the name wrong, but I know it's not him. Anyway, so that's it. Always we gotta end on about a correction that
That's
one
fine.
of our memories is wrong.
Listen,
In
man,
this
when you've
case,
read
it's
a literal
yours
100,000 comics, it's okay to be wrong.
once in a while.
Now, was his book Red Rooster? What was his book he tried to sell at Walmart?
Oof, Red Rooster was Mitch Breitweiser.
That's what it was.
I have Red Rooster. I have a couple of the Walmart books because they had them
Yeah.
on sale for $1. And what's really difficult with that is you had Butch Guys doing one, Mitch doing another one. I'm trying to think there was a third artist doing it. I don't know how to get those because I tried looking on eBay for those. They're not. I tried to sell them on eBay at one point because I was like, let me just get rid of these, and no one buys them. Like I put them up for like $5. I like maybe I
Nobody
think I have
buys them.
six.
Nobody sells them.
Nobody buys them. Nobody sells them, and I don't know how to get the rest of it. I would think that maybe somebody like TNT, what was it, TNT? Who were the ones that came out a couple years ago that they would sell them a little weird. It was like I think there was a Garth Ennis, um, Steve Epting book or something, right? It would be like the whole thing. It's like here, you want all
Yes.
5 issues, you get them all at once. You can get a pack with 5 issues in it, or you can get the trade at the same time. And I think they were good, right, direct to consumer or direct to retailers. I don't think they went through Diamond for a bit. Anyway, I feel like someone like that should pick it up. We should pick it up. But I think all those people are Comicsgate people. Does that sound right?
Yes,
I
they
think
are.
Mitch
Yeah,
is
they all are.
whoops.
So, but yeah, there's levels. I know Dan Fraga like just left Comicsgate.
Mm,
He was like I think he was like angry over something like Van Sciver and Malin were just being like super mean to people. And I don't think he's like real into Comicsgate. I think he just like wanted better comics that weren't woke, I guess. I don't know.
yeah,
Everyone's entitled to their opinions. Just you don't your opinions don't entitle you to be mean to people or harass people.
a dick.
Don't be a dick. These are comics. We're supposed to look up to super, we all supposed to like look up to Superman and Spider-Man and like get our morality from these icons of comic mythology.
Got war
Don't be
paint
a
on here.
dick.
Looks like it's Death Blow. Death Blow right
True.
there, baby.
Right.
Woo woo. So that's it. But stay tuned for lots of special shows. I have a bunch of stuff. We need to do like a long record on Sunday, bro. Like because I have like a bunch of markdown stuff from different trips I got. We got to figure out a free comic day. We got to figure out the Thunderbolt situation. It's gonna be it's tough. It's tough
All right.
being a
Listen,
geek,
man.
bro. This is
You
a
got
big week
me.
too.
It is a big week. You got me for 2 hours. Can
Oh, we'll see.
you imagine?
I got to
Uh,
bribe. I got to bribe the wife. Give me that Rob. Give him to me. So, all right.
yep.
With that, everyone have a wonderful week.
Weekend by this
And
point,
yeah,
and
no more
we'll,
holidays. Holidays are screwing everything up. Stupid. No more holidays.
yeah, it's been
Comics
a busy week.
are it. Comics are it. All right, everyone. We'll see you all soon.